Hi there, I'm Dana. I'm a certified holistic nutrition consultant, and I specialize in helping women overcome hormonal issues, especially those in perimenopause. I am 11 years into my own hormone journey, and I am still free from all those pesky perimenopause symptoms that so many women are talking about these days. And I am here to show women like you that you too can overcome these symptoms with a little bit of a different viewpoint when it comes to how to do this, and especially with nutrition. So, today, I just want to talk about something I think a lot of you can relate to. It's that feeling like you're stuck in a never ending cycle with food. So, if you've ever been on a diet or followed a health program that left you more frustrated, exhausted, and frankly blaming yourself for getting off track, you are absolutely not alone. I've been there many times. And I mean, if you're like me, maybe you sit there and you think to yourself, I know what to do. I know what to do. I just need to get back on track. You know what to do when it comes to the food, whether it's count calories, cut carbs, stick to paleo, or maybe carnivore or keto. But somehow following those principles, it never really works. You fall off that wagon and then you get back up and you're like, oh, I screwed up. I got to start again. And then you blame yourself. And you end up in this cycle of feeling like you're feeling tired, exhausted, frustrated, confused, and wondering, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stick to this? Why is this not working? Here's the thing. No matter how much willpower, motivation, or determination you have to stick to these programs, that isn't the issue. There's a much deeper problem happening here. It's like a double trap. These trendy diets that are marketed to us as the answer to whatever it is that you want to fix, these diets, they're rigid rules, they're pushed as solutions. And so when we can't stick to them, we start blaming ourselves and we fall into this trap, and then we get up and we try again because maybe we had 2 or 3 good weeks where it felt like it was working. There are a lot of programs out there that are super strict. They ask you to cut out whole food groups, cut out calories, follow a style that seems promising. And I think in our society, a lot of us are drawn to that challenge aspect of these diets. And just know that these programs, these trendy fad diets, are marketed so well that they make us believe that if we just try harder, we'll get the results we're looking for. And then when those results don't come or they don't last, we think, I got off track. I just need to go back. I did something wrong. It's my fault. But here's the truth. These programs were never designed to be the end all solution to your health. Despite what they say, it is rare to actually find scientific nutritional studies backing up their claims, especially when it comes to women's nutrition and women's health. Most of these diets have one goal in mind: quick, short-term results that look good on the surface so that we get drawn in and we get excited about them, and then they bring us back. Look at Weight Watchers. That whole industry has been around for years, decades. And how many times do you yourself, or do you know of a woman who has gone on Weight Watchers, done really good, and then stopped, gained the weight back, and then has to go back on it again? It's designed like this because none of these address the underlying issues of, especially hormonal issues related to chronic fatigue, brain fog, PMS, heavy periods, weight gain, or anxiety and mood swings. They're not built to understand your unique nutritional needs, and they don't nourish you on a deep level. You're asked to follow rigid rules that don't consider you, like your stress levels, your body composition, your hormonal status, especially as a woman in her perimenopause years, because these hormones, ladies, they are fluctuating all over the place. In a day, they can fluctuate. This is why lab tests really don't work for us, because it's too difficult to perfect the point in time to take that lab test. Some people are lucky, but most of us, it's just a crapshoot. There's also these diets, they've done a number on our metabolism. So as we get older and as we continue to follow them, they don't consider the damage and the ruin of our metabolism that they have caused, like the downregulating of our metabolism after every time we do a calorie counting or carb restricted diet. Instead, they just make this assumption that we're all the same, like all women are the same. Here's a one size fits all diet. But we know health is not a one size fits all entity. So when you blame yourself thinking you just didn't do it right, the reality is it is not you. It's the program, it's the industry that isn't made for sustainable health. And one step further, does not consider the hormonal roller coaster of a woman in her perimenopause years. So I see so many women caught in this loop of believing that they know what to do, but just got off track. They tell themselves it's not, or they tell themselves it's just about getting back on a program, following the same restrictive rules. But the reality is, it's not about being on track with these programs. It's about getting on a track that actually works for you and that feels easy and stress-free and works. Blaming yourself actually holds you back from finding a new approach that can genuinely support your health. That's the mind trick. The psychological aspect of these programs is that they hook you in. I've done Weight Watchers. I've done paleo. I've done a bit of keto. Luckily, keto really messed with me, so I'm not interested in that one again. But I was hooked. Like, oh, see, look, if I follow these directions, it's been 3 weeks. I did drop 7 pounds. And you see it all the time. It's like, oh, my client dropped 7 pounds in 1 week. Well, yeah, because there's other factors. It's usually because inflammation dropped. You cut out all of those bad foods that drive inflammation up. But we get hooked. And then when it stops working, or we can't stick with the plan because it just feels too dang restrictive and we're tired of missing out on girls' nights or birthday parties, and we're just like, you know what, screw it. I am going to go and I'm going to have a pizza with my family. Then you feel like you fell off the wagon, right? And then we blame ourselves. But we get hooked back in. Just like, okay, I did that diet before. I saw results. We somehow forget that they were very temporary and it was a difficult thing to do, to stick to that diet. At least that was me. And I know that's very true of many of my clients. But we're hooked in. And so our brains have taken us on this journey straight back to that one approach that we tried that gave us very temporary, unsustainable results. That's where so many of us stay stuck, like this tunnel vision. I have a friend who is seriously in tunnel vision mode about their health right now because they're not getting results, but they're like blaming themselves. Like, I know what I need to do. I need to eat that way. I'm like, but that, when I look at that way, like I did it before, it worked for a little while, and I fell off track. Like, well, I see why that way didn't work for you. Like, but they can't see that. They cannot see that this is not the answer to the goal that they have set for themselves. This is going to probably get them a little bit of results, but it's going to backfire in the end because it's so unsustainable and it's so inflammatory to their system. And inflammation is going to be a huge roadblock to their success. A little side tangent there. But when we keep blaming ourselves, when we embody the blame, when those programs don't work, this stops us. It stops you from trying something different because deep down you're convinced that it's you that needs the fixing, not the program. So what if we broke out of this cycle? What if we stopped looking at health as a set of rules to follow and instead looked at it as a unique journey of learning and growth? What if the answer isn't about starting over, but it's about starting a new path? One that's about feeding your body in a way that works with your hormones, your energy levels, your health needs, your goals. What would it be like to feel so empowered when it came to making your food choices that you knew deep down you were always nourishing your body, and you were free to go out for sunset beer like I do, order pizza with your family, eat that chocolate cake that you saw the other day in the store when you were walking by? What if you felt so empowered that you knew that 80 to 90% of what you were eating was actually healing your body, fixing problems that have been leading to these symptoms, feeling and knowing that your body is improving? And it wasn't about counting, weighing, measuring, portioning, beating yourself up because you had potatoes when you're supposed to be eating low carb. Imagine what that would feel like. I have to say, as that's how I eat. It is so freeing because I just get to go make a meal plan and be like, huh, what do I feel like eating this day, today, this week? I tune into my body and I'm like, okay, what do I feel like eating this week? And the foods that pop up are like, oh, I want spaghetti. I'm like, okay, that's Friday. Oh, I want soup. Okay, cool. That's Wednesday. Oh, I really feel like burger and fries. I'm like, okay, add that. And in the way that I eat, all of those things that feel good to me, they come into my diet. I have learned over the years to tweak traditional comfort food like spaghetti or burgers and fries in a way that supports my goals. So I don't eat burgers with a bun anymore. I eat them just plain and I put like lettuce and pickles and tomatoes and ketchup. I love ketchup. It's one of my favorite things. And I put that on the burger and eat it with a knife and a fork, but I still get the experience of a delicious burger. I make my own fries at home that have little to no oil. I do cook them in a little bit of oil, but I don't deep fry them. And then so I still get the experience of having French fries without them being deep fried. Just it's so empowering because I get to eat the foods I love, but I have learned how to make them work for me. And this is what traditional diet nutrition programs, challenges, fads, all that take away from us. They take away that power for us to start thinking of how to enjoy food on our terms in a way that works for us. So, my challenge for you today is to think about one belief you hold about what you need to do for your health. I'm not putting that in quotes as a bad thing. It's just what do I need to do for your health? Ask yourself, is that belief actually helping me? Has it been helping me? Am I getting to where I need to go? Or, and be really honest with yourself, is it keeping me stuck? Am I continually feeling like I'm in a cycle of trying and failing and trying and failing and blaming myself, starting over again? And if the answer is yes to the last part, and you are open and curious and ready to start looking at your health from a new angle, because let me tell you, what you're seeing out there, that is just one little sliver of the pie. So much more out there when it comes to how you could be using food to reverse your perimenopause symptoms and get yourself back into that radiant, healthy, energized, balanced, sexy, awesome person that you're meant to be. So when you're ready to look at health from a new angle and to break free from these restrictions, I am inviting you to stay open and explore what it could look like to nourish your body in a way that aligns with your goals and your outcomes, with what you need on a personalized, unique to you level, not some one size fits all diet. That is probably most likely based on the diets that I have seen in research created for and based on men's nutrition science. So let's turn that self blame into self compassion and curiosity and take back your power and find a way to health that really truly serves you. All right. Thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, let me know. And I posted a link to my free hormone repair guide below that you can start looking at today that takes in a lot of the concepts that we talked about today.